Well, this is a fun day for children. We have a number of activities set up, painting with vegetables, making necklaces out of vegetables, all with a vegetable theme. They can take, say, a flower like this, and they can dab it like that. They can take, any number of paints and put flowers in it, and or stems or a vegetable.
We have some beet stems here. Here, take a look at this. They have little ridges on them, so we can squish them down into the paper.
And here's a pepper that we.
It's just fun.
It's just fun for the children to express themselves.
Yeah, and we had some real little ones here that just went into the paint with their fingers, and they were, making little designs with their parents. Here's a pepper, and we can make flowers with these.
And for one family, you see the mic. And for one family, this was their 2-year-old toddler's first artwork.
Twins.
And they were going to bring it home and put it on the wall. So they were quite overjoyed with that.
Yeah, I know. And then look, here's some dill. This one's really cool.
So it's just a matter of taking stems and seed pods, some vegetables that have been cut, and create a design of a child's choice.
Yep.
Ikebana is an ancient Japanese, actually came from China. The Chinese missionaries brought it to Japan to honor the Buddhas there, and they started doing it on the altars, and then it eventually went into the homes in Japan in their little alcove in the entrance. And now there are different schools. We are in Sugetsu School, which is the most modern. It was formed in 1927 to be more creative and enjoyable, so they say. And we love it, and we love to share it with other people. You need line, which we're using today with the children as boxwood. And you want to trim your plants so that you really see the line of the branch. And then, so this is the shin, the tallest, the soy, which is 3/4 length, and the hikai, which is 3/4 of that. And the angles are important. And you're always sort of making a triangle when you're doing it. And most of the time you're using a kenzan and a morabana dish, which is a low dish. And the water is an important part. Today we're using Oasis for the kids. But we're using boxwood, Queen Anne's lace, and solidago, and the black-eyed Susans. Ikebana loves to use seasonal materials, so yesterday we went out into the meadow and the garden and trimmed everything for today.
So for our displays for great gatherings, we have a lot of fun things that you can do with plants that you've harvested. And today this table shows you how you can make simple dyes from plant material. This table shows you how you can make simple dyes from plant material you probably have growing already in your backyard. For hundreds and hundreds of years, that's the way people dyed the cloth that they used to make their clothing. Today we use a lot of chemicals in that process, but it's still just as easy to use plants. So we've made dyes using tansy, beautiful marigolds. This is tick-seed coreopsis, and it makes this very beautiful, thick, gorgeous yellow dye. It's very, very pretty. We're also using little blue stem grasses, and the indigenous people that were native to North America would use many plants, such as this little blue stem that is native to our continent. Also, we have a dye here made out of red cabbage and juniper berries, which makes this very pale orange dye. A lot of these dyes can be used together. They can be used with substances such as iron or copper that would change their color on the fabric. And so dyeing with plants is a really fun activity, and it's really simple to do. And we hope that you'll come by and try it out someday. Okay, so this table is a table that we are presenting a number of vegetable varieties that we are growing in the vegetable garden, and varieties that we are doing trials on. So we have 6 different types of beets, we have 6 different types of basil, and we have a number of different types of tomatoes. Both the beets and the basils are part of plant breeding programs, and flavor analysis, which is what we're doing today at this tasting, will help inform the breeders on which choices they make to breed plants in the future. So over here with the basil, we're growing 4 different varieties from the Rutgers, New Jersey Agriculture Experiment Station that they have developed for downy mildew resistance. So people have had a lot of trouble in the last few years growing basil in New England. It turns gold and then it turns brown and has this gray fuzz on it. Well, that's downy mildew. It's a new disease introduced to this country within the last decade, and it is very happy up here in New England. So Rutgers has been working on downy mildew resistant basil varieties, and they have 4 here today. One's called Devotion, one's called Obsession, another one's called Passion, and then we have Thunderstruck. So they're really interested to know which ones not only do the best in Massachusetts in our trial garden, as far as having disease resistance, being able to be cut again and again and regrow and give you more and more basil throughout the summer, but they also want to know how they taste. So we have a ballot here. It has a number of questions on it, and people can rate the taste of each of these varieties. Is it sweet? Is it acidic? Is it harsh? Does it have off flavors? Is it soapy? Does it taste anisey? Is it licoricey? And over here with the beets, we're doing the same thing. We are working with plant breeders who are interested in coming up with an optimal red storage beet for New England. So we have a number of varieties here, and we're getting feedback from people. A lot of beets have an earthiness to them. Some people like that, some people don't like that. So we want to know, do these beets have that earthiness? And if they do, does the taster find that pleasant or unpleasant? And if they don't have that earthiness, do they have a sweetness or are they just bland? And how do they feel in your mouth? Are they crunchy? Are they crisp? Are they juicy? So, and they're all different. We've tasted all of them, and surprisingly, there are huge differences in these beets, even though they look exactly alike. So that's what we're doing here today. And both Kim and Louisa have been manning this table, so they've been interacting with people who've been doing the taste test. So I'm going to let them say a little bit.
Kim, what are the favorites here?
Well, I could say informally, we've had some of our kids around here, so they haven't filled out the forms yet, but they definitely...
Kids love beets, of course.
They love beets. They love beets. But the big question was which ones were the sweetest, and so far in the running is the Pink Stem Lutz has been the thumbs up. They didn't like the Boston as much, or the Sweet Dakota, ironically. But Louisa.
There was one little girl who came and tasted, how many different ones? She tasted three different ones, so she really gave it a good old taste test. On this end, with the basil flavored oil, a lot of people have been interested in Thunderstruck and Passion, those two. Less adventuresome up in this area, but we'll encourage them, more people, to try all these different varieties.
We just love to grow a huge diversity of tomatoes. They're all just, we have paste tomatoes, we have beefsteaks, we have specialty tomatoes, we have saladettes, we have sweet cherries and currant tomatoes. And so we just like to have a huge diversity because again, all of this food goes to the food pantries after we're done with it. And so we love to be able to grow. If you look at the market value of organically grown heirloom tomatoes, some markets are getting upwards of $6 or $7 a pound, and we send at least 600 or 700 pounds of these tomatoes to our food pantries each year. And we're really proud to be able to offer that sort of value and that really sort of special summer flavor.
So that's why we're growing the diversity of tomatoes in the vegetable garden. It isn't necessarily part of a trial, but we do take notes on which varieties do the best for us, which ones are the easiest to grow and the most hassle-free. A number of heirloom varieties are susceptible to a lot of diseases, the fruit cracks, so agronomically growing those crops can be challenging. And so we do get to play around with them ourselves, and in the fall we usually put something out on our website that tells people which of our tomato varieties did the best.
My table is all about making these lovely necklaces that look like this. It's made out of a slice of dried orange, some yarn, and some beads. And the kids get to see how beautiful fruit can be and other natural things, and then also wear it around for a while.
Imagine it's a nice smell too.
It does. Yeah, pretty good.
So do you teach them how to dry the oranges or anything, or just?
We talk about it if they're interested. Some of the littler ones just sort of want to play with the beads, and
Yeah.
the bigger ones get more into how is all this done and what other fruit you could do it with and things like that, how long it will last.